That was exciting, wasn't it? Welcome back to my 20 years behind reviews of albums that came out 20 years ago today. Well, that week. So, being completely honest, I messed up. I checked the charts last week, downloaded my album, listened to it right through, on repeat, constantly, getting really down to grips with it. Then yesterday I realised what I did was I looked at the singles charts, not the album charts. So I've been listening to Bewitched, which wasn't even in the top 10 this time 20 years ago. I should have been listening to Sheryl Crow, so then yesterday I downloaded Sheryl Crow's album. Been listening to it a bit today, and it's boring, so I'm going with Bewitched. Fuck their rules. It's episode 2 and I'm already off track. We'll try to keep it on track from now on, but elephant in the room. I'm sat inside, I'm wearing a hat and big thick jumper and yesterday's makeup. I was out last night and I'm too lazy to have erased that, so this is what we've got today. So Bewitched. What have I done? Wait there. Okay, so Bewitched. This is Bewitched, the band, with the album also named Bewitch. That's what I was listening to. And it starts straight away, you're listening to an Irish, to an Irish group, because they're so heavily, let's see how Celtic we can be sounding. He comes in with all kind of the violins and the strings and this is very folky, and then all of a sudden you're listening to a drum and bass song. I wasn't expecting that, and Irish kind of folk drum and bass wasn't a genre I realised I needed in my life, but following that one song, following this intro, I think it's called Let Us Go, then in brackets, the Bewitched jig, so listen to that one. After that, it kind of goes back to the 90s bubblegum that you'd expect, really, the second song, C'est La Vie. If you say you don't know that song, I'm going to punch you straight in the face, because yes, you do. Say you will, say you won't, say you'll do what I don't. That onwards was very much kind of what you'd expect. In terms of the production, quite differently to last week when I was doing the Manic Street Preachers. With them, I was saying, it's kind of, for me, it seems timeless. You wouldn't know you listened to a 90s album there. With this one, you really, really, really do. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you want to listen to 90s music, then you want to listen to music that sounds like it's from the 90s. So, with this, I'm not sure the last time I listened to an album that had so much record scratching. Wickle, 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 wickle. Very, very, very 90s. But that's fine, because if that's what you're looking for, It reminds me of the intro to Teenage Dirtbag, and then in terms of the vocals, they're not bad. I appreciate the fact that I can't hear heavy auto-tuning, which is very unlike a lot of other pop groups, pop solo artists and things. It's alright. It's not holy shit, that's the greatest voice I've ever heard, but it's fine. If you do read my blog, which, I'm going to be so corny now.
So link here!
If you do read my blog, then I do talk a little bit about, lost my train of thought, about one of the songs that I do really like called Blame It on the Weatherman. I do remember this after listening to it. Prior, I would have thought I only knew C'est La Vie. Once I've listened through the album, there's a few songs that I do remember. There's C'est La Vie, there's Rollercoaster, and there's Blame It on the Weatherman. With Blame It on the Weatherman, I do think it's probably one of the stronger songs on the album. For me, at least, it's one of the slower ones, but it's just nice. It's less kind of in your face and stuff. The lyrics, don't get me wrong, are absolutely atrocious. It's one more day, no one said there would be rain again. Can't blame it on myself. Yeah, I'll blame it on the weatherman. I think you should really blame it on yourself if you have a bad carbon footprint. Maybe that's just me. Maybe the weatherman also has a bad carbon footprint, but he doesn't actually control the weather. That's the government. The lyrics are... It's not really the government. The lyrics are a little bit... I've got a house with the windows and doors. I'll show you mine, you show me yours. Again, a house. Do you need to clarify there's windows and doors in this house? The fact that you're clarifying is making me think you don't have them. If you'd have just said to me, I have a house, then I'm picturing a house with windows and doors and a roof. If you say, I've got a house and it's got windows and doors, then you're a bit like, you know, I've got a banjo and it has strings. It actually doesn't. The lyrics, they're not great, but you know, you don't go in expecting greatness with 90s bubblegum, do you? You're not going to get Bohemian Rhapsody. There's nothing like that that's kind of hidden within there, but I didn't think there would be. In summary, I think for an album, compared to every other album out there in the world, I did overall say I enjoyed it, so it puts it on the good side. It's not anything... It's not an album, well, evidently, because it was 20 years ago, it's not an album that's stuck around forever. There are some, like, you know, Appetite for Destruction, that's still a pretty, like, you know, people know about it these days, whereas Bewitched don't really get talked about. So it's not one of those kind of stick-around albums, but if you're after a bit of 90s bubblegum cheese, I'd say it's probably one of the better albums that can give you that. So overall, as an album, I think I said I'll give it a 6 out of 10. But if you are in the very specific mood where you're thinking, I want to listen to some 90s, you know, rump-shaking bullshit, then yeah, I would say for that scenario, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10 because that's what I would want to listen to rather than, you know, Boyzone. That's my fucking review. And I'll be back next week. And I say this like it's a teaser, but you know, it's historical, you can check what it is. But I'll be back next week with a little bit of hip-hop, which was new in at number 2 in early October 1998. Ciao for now! Close enough.
Rollercoaster, come on.